Well, this week, Wisconsin's 7th District Congressman Sean Duffy announced he is resigning and will leave office in September. Duffy cited family issues for the sudden departure. Joining us now to talk about the news is Vaughn, Hagel, Associate Professor of Political Science at the University of Wisconsin Superior. Elisa, thank you so very much for being back with us again tonight. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What will Congressman Sean Duffy's resignation mean for the Wisconsin 7th Congressional District?
Well, that's, in talking about special elections and, how the campaign finance will play a role in, shaping that first election and then what it means for 2020. There's, I'm sure, going to be prognostications going on, from tomorrow till the end of, till it ends. But I think for what it means for Wisconsin is that I think it will be the special election that will be held when Governor Evers calls for a special election will be a harbinger for 2020 and sort of where the nation as a whole is going towards. So this district, while it was had a representative that was Democrat for some say eons, but he was, I think, in office for about 19 terms, and he was Democrat. And Duffy has now had 5 terms in office, and the district as a whole has gone a little bit more conservative in nature. And so whether or not the Republicans can hold on to this district, whether or not the Democrats are able to have a win, that'll be, I think, a very clear sign going into 2020, sort of what kind of election season will shape up for the parties.
Mm-hmm. What do you see is really at stake for the two parties?
Republicans certainly would want to try to regain power in the House and try to holding on to this seat. I think would be paramount for them in a district that is has been moving conservative, has voted for Trump, has reelected him for 5 terms in office, or has elected Sean Duffy in 5 terms in office. And so if they are unsuccessful in holding on to this seat, or if they win by a very small margin, that would be, I think, an indication that there's problems in terms of whether it's turnout or candidates or campaign finance or what have you.
Mm-hmm. As a political science teacher, to what do you attribute Duffy's popularity?
I think, he is in this region. I think he very much sort of fits the general tone of the community. So he was a lumberjack for quite a while during his while he was in college, and I think he put himself through law school doing lumberjack contests, and so he is very
got deep roots here.
Yes, and he very much emphasizes that, and always, I think, emphasizes his commitment to the region. And so he is somebody who, is committed to the issues of the Northland, and has, and working here as the district attorney before he was in Congress. He spent a lot of time here in public office in this district. So he has had a lot of time being a public servant, serving the people of this region. And so that certainly is important to people.
Mm-hmm. Several people have already started to announce that they either will run or might consider a run. As you look at the politicians and the political climate in this area, anybody have an edge in your mind, or?
It's really, as I said, since 2016, I don't make any predictions anymore. But I think that what I think is interesting is that it's, regardless of who's entering the contest, that, this is just one more Republican. I think he's the 13th Republican to resign or to retire from office since the 2018 midterms. And before the 2018 midterms, we had 39 Republicans retiring. And so, we just see this huge groundswell of Republicans leaving office. And so, again, there's going to be these contests happening all over the nation as Republicans are, just fed up with being in the minority, or decide to run for a higher office and don't want to be in the minority in Congress. And so I think that he will, that this is just, again, a reflection of what's going to be happening going on all across the nation.
I would assume that people all over the state are scratching their heads a little bit and asking the question, will Sean Duffy someday run for the U.S. Senate or for governor? Any thoughts as a professor?
Well, there has been talk of that. There's been a lot of speculation about that. There was speculation about him running and challenging Tammy Baldwin, but there was a general, assumption or general, awareness that they wouldn't be successful, especially in the 2018 election, where it's definitely a partisan election moving towards the Democrats, and so there is questions of whether he will run for governor or Senate. And he left office with about $2.4 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but in this day and age, that's really not a whole heck of a lot to campaign on. So we'll see.
And with that, we have to leave it. Lisa Vaughn Hagel, thank you very much. Associate Professor of Political Science at UWS. Thank you.
Thank you very much.